So now with the power of for loops and variables, let's print assets for all the companies in the system. To know how to get the asset amount and the company names, we go back to help and we need to learn this command called get xbrl latest, and what it says here is retrieve the latest numeric value from xbrl record. I know it sounds confusing what xbrl even means, but what it really says here is that we for this ticker, essentially identifying a company, we get the value of this name, value name. So this will be our asset, a value name, and the ticker will be every company in the system. So we'll just use this one command to do that. And of course we also need to know how to get the tickers, right? And how to essentially get all the companies in the system. So for that we'll again go through the help and we'll find somewhere here command called get ticker count. So that tells us how many companies exist in the system. We also will use command called get ticker by index, which gives you a ticker name by index, an index meaning like ordered number in the list of all the tickers, and all the tickers number is get ticker count, right? And I don't think we need anything else to print this, right? So let's try that. You remember this previous lesson we did. Now let's create a new lesson, script for new lesson. So we'll click new, we'll call this lesson 2, save, and let's do that. So first of all, let's get the total number of companies in the system. So we declare variable and we call it C, which stands for count, and we get equal, and then I already forgot the name of that command we saw in the help. So what I usually do, I at least remember how it starts, which was like get something, and then I press Ctrl space. It's also hinted here, Ctrl space, to get the suggestion. So Ctrl space, and here all the commands appear, and in our case I think it was get ticker count or something like that. So let's see, yeah, get ticker count. If you hover your mouse over it, it also tells you what it does, right? So you need these two brackets here, so that should be good enough. Then the next thing, we'll do the for loop, and we'll do for loop where I changes from 0 to C and increments for every single one. So that will change I from 0 to C, and C is total number of companies. Let's actually print total number, right? Print ln, and we'll print C. Let's actually say it, total companies number. And to concatenate or add together strings in this language called Lua, we use 2 dots. So this will add this string with this variable value, and you should see the number printed. So then we have this for loop, and I'm not really interested in I. What I really want to see is let's print for now just the ticker itself. I think we'll retrieve, so we'll declare a new variable called ticker, and we'll use another command we saw in the help. I think it was get ticker by index or something like that. Get ticker by index, yeah. And index will be I. So we'll print ticker here. So we print I equal, not I, no. We actually can print I, which is variable, which is just an integer, right? And then we'll do that, and we'll do something like space just to separate. And that's command that doesn't print assets amount yet for the ticker, but I just want to see all the tickers, you know, I really want to see that. So save, and we'll run. And it's done. Let's scroll all the way up, and we can see that we printed initially here total company's number, which is 8144, and we started to print a variable I, and for each variable I we have different ticker. You probably recognize Microsoft and Google here, and Tesla, and a few more companies. So it's a pretty long list, and you just printed all of it. So how about now to get the actual assets and also print it, right? So we saw that third command that we need to use, I think it was get xbr latest. So we'll just get latest, and this is just a hint. So first we need to specify the ticker variable, then we need to say this mysterious segment, which always an empty string by the way for now, and then the value name. Now how do I know which value to use here to get the assets, right? And what you can do is, if you go to companies, for any company, and if you go to charts, and if you look here, all these charts that you can see, like liabilities for example, these names are the names of the variables, so you can use each of them. And we could use assets, which is like a generic assets, but it's in an advanced section, so these tags are a little bit more like specific to different companies, but more generic tags are here, and or names, tags or names, I use those two interchangeably. And what we are looking for is assets, which is actually the first one, and it's kind of hint, yes, it is assets. So here is, so for Microsoft we have current assets 359 actually $1 billion. That's a lot of assets. Okay, so we'll use that assets, and that we need to assign to another variable. Let's call it assets, and we'll also concatenate it with the rest of things. So it's another space and then assets. Okay, let's run this. And we can see that most of the companies have some assets printed. And let's find Microsoft. Yeah, here is that number we saw on the chart as well. So here you just printed it from the script. This in itself is not a useful script yet, but the truly useful script will be in lesson 3. Currently I want to just show you one more command from help, and that is because tickers, not everyone like recognizes companies by tickers, so I just want to print the name of company as well. So this command called get company prop string or str takes a ticker and a property name, and as you can see it supports following properties: the name, industry, sector. Oh, let's print also sector. It can be useful to see what sector each company belongs to, and some other information here, CEO name. So let's try name and sector for now. So let's get that local variable name equal get company property string ticker. Let me just double check ticker, and the property name, in our case that will be just name. And we'll also get, by the way, I love Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. You can copy paste and just not type too much. And then we also want to retrieve a sector name. And let's add all of that as well to this information printed on name. Oops, sorry, it should be name. Then let's put comma this time and sector. Alright, even more information printed. So if we go to our Microsoft at the beginning of this giant list, so we have MSFT, that's its amount, Microsoft Corp technology, and the sector is technology, obviously, right? Let's do CEO just for fun. Let's see if this is fresh data. They got CEO changed a year or so ago, right? I can even do like that, CEO. And if string is too long, you can continue to the next line like this. And remember, you printed it at all for almost 9,000 companies, so that runs blindingly fast, and you can do a lot of things with these algorithms that we'll learn later. And they say it's Timothy Cook still. Oh, sorry, that's Apple, right? That's fine. Microsoft is Satya Nadella. Yeah, that's a new guy. So it's pretty fresh data there. And that's pretty much it for lesson 2. The only thing I want to show you is everyone makes mistakes. So let me like simulate a mistake. I forgot the bracket here, and I'll try to run it. Let's see what happens. Don't get like frustrated or scared if you make a mistake. It's completely normal, especially when you learn something. So the error messages, read them carefully, it will help you. So it says line 9 and it says bracket expected. See, so it kind of suggests you where the error is. It even highlights it. It's not sometimes on the same line but very close to the error, so it keys the error. So let me fix it, save, run, and now it will work, I hope, just fine. So that's the idea. Remember that not all companies, like here some Canadian companies, the data is missing. So you always, when you code scripts, write scripts, please make sure you don't assume that data is always available for all companies. Especially for some smaller companies, you might miss some information. So just be aware of that. And yeah, now that's end for lesson 2. I'm very excited about lesson 3, where we'll do our first useful algorithm.